If you've been in your career for 20, 30, even 40 years, and lately you've been wondering while you're in this job search, why am I not getting invited to more interviews? Or is this age discrimination? I want to have a very honest conversation with you today. We've talked about this before. Age bias absolutely exists. However, I don't believe it's the biggest reason why most experienced professionals are being overlooked. I think something else is happening. And if you can fix this one thing, I truly believe you're going to dramatically increase your visibility and relevance and ultimately your interview opportunities. If we haven't met, my name is Lori Lawrence, and I'm the founder of Next Chapter Career Coaching. I'm a job search specialist, and I work with those tenured professionals over the age of 45 that are going through this very competitive job search market. I teach a job search strategy known as the Next Chapter Method, which has been very successful over the last 19 months, where over 120 professionals have landed in their next role in under 90 days. One of the questions I hear almost every single week from clients or folks that I am talking to during a consult is, Lori, do you think I'm too old? And my answer is almost always the same. Maybe you are, but that's probably not the problem you're actually facing. The bigger issue is that somewhere along the way, your experience stopped being translated into relevance. And those are two very different things. Experience tells me where you've been. Relevance tells me why I should hire you today. Hiring managers don't make decisions based on how many years you've worked. They're making decisions based on one single question. If bringing this individual onto our team, is it going to make us stronger and our organization stronger? If your resume, LinkedIn profile, all of your networking, engagement, and your interviews don't answer that question clearly, experience alone is not going to save you. Recently, I had a conversation with someone I spent some time with during our twice-a-week community. He has spent months rewriting his resume. He's attended webinars, he's changed formats, he's connected with people, and he's extremely frustrated. And when I looked out at his LinkedIn activity, that's when everything changed. Because every post he had posted over the last several months talked about fake recruiters, scammers, how broken the ATS systems are, how terrible all recruiters are, how impossible this job market is. Now, understand, many cases I agree, and I agree with some of his frustrations. They are real. I've seen them too. Here's what you have to understand. LinkedIn isn't a place for you to hold out and vent. It's a marketing platform. Recruiters don't just read your resume. They absolutely click and look at your LinkedIn profile. So do hiring managers. And they're trying to answer another important question. Who is this person when they aren't interviewing? If everything they see is complaining and negativity, or blaming, or even bitterness, what picture are you painting? Maybe not intentionally, but the perception becomes reality. And I always tell my clients, your resume tells people where you've been, and your LinkedIn profile tells people where you're going. And that includes your participation. Both of those should align. One should reinforce the other. Instead, I often see resumes talking about executive leadership, while LinkedIn activity communicates discouragement. Those don't match. And when they don't match, trust begins to erode. And here's another truth. Companies today aren't simply buying experience. They're buying adaptability. They're buying curiosity. And they want people who continue to learn, who embrace technology, that are a little bit more tolerant and know how to solve today's business problems, not yesterday's. That's why someone with 15 years of experience can sometimes beat someone with 35. Not because they're smarter, but because they've positioned themselves much better. So what do? Let me give you 3 action steps to take this week. Action number 1, I want you to audit your LinkedIn profile. Not just your headline, not just your about section, but I want you to look at the activity. Any posts, any reposts, any comments. Go back 30 days and ask yourself, if I were a hiring manager seeing these posts for the very first time, would I want to meet me? Or would I think this person sounds frustrated, negative, or even resistant to change? LinkedIn activity is part of your interview now. Treat it that way. Action step number 2, modernize your language. Many professionals are still describing what they managed instead of describing the business problems you can solve. Talk about transformation, revenue growth, operational efficiencies, customer experience, AI adoption, process improvement, risk reduction, innovation, business outcomes. That's the language companies are hiring for today. Third, focus on recent impact. Most hiring managers care most about what you've done and accomplished over the last 5 to maybe 10 years. That doesn't mean older experience isn't valuable. It is. But don't spend 2 pages talking about something you accomplished back in 1998. Lead with your most relevant accomplishments. Demonstrate that you're still growing, still learning, and you're contributing at a very high level. Here's what I want every one of you to remember. Don't need to hide your age. You do not need to apologize for any experience. You certainly don't need to remove 20 years from your career. What you need to do is package your experience in a way that answers today's business questions and business needs. That's what creates relevance. And I'll leave you with one more thought to think about. Experience gets respect. Relevance gets interviews. Those are not the same thing. If your experience is presented strategically, it becomes one of the greatest competitive advantages you have. But if it's presented as history, instead of business value, people simply just move on. If this video has helped you, I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel, because every Friday, we're going to be talking about real strategies that help experienced professionals navigate today's job market with confidence and with clarity. And if you are tired of trying to figure all of this out alone, please book a complimentary strategy call with me. We'll look at where your job search may be losing momentum, identify what's keeping you from getting those interviews, and build a practical plan to help you become much more visible, more relevant, and ultimately more competitive in today's market. Remember, you're not just running a job search, you're running a marketing campaign. Remember, your next chapter isn't about having more experience. It's about making your experience impossible to ignore. I'll see you next Friday.